Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? I wanted to get on today and take a look at, well, first of all, we'll look at the energies of the week through the Aboriginal Spirit Oracle by Mel Brown. Let me just show you that box. Okay, a wonderful oracle designed and created by Mel Brown here in Australia. I wanted to jump on. There's a lot of talk on Twitter, more than a flutter, shall I say, and via reputable accounts, that Trump has some kind of health crisis, which warranted him getting a test. And of course, photos are showing a bruising on his hand as though a cannula was placed in there. Anyone who's been watching my readings has seen that Four of Swords card appear time and time again. I have felt compellingly so that there is an underlying, a real, not just dementia, but a real health problem there for this president. In my Trump in August reading, of course, I got a draw to the 24th, which is the Republican National Convention. And of course, for the first time, unprecedented again, they are not allowing the media into the casting of those votes, of course, to nominate Trump as the Republican candidate. Why is that? So my feeling is there's a couple of reasons. I feel that there may be a movement against Trump within the actual Republican Party, not enough to steamroll him, but enough to be a cause of embarrassment. So that's one possibility. The second possibility is something entirely different, and that could mean that Trump may not be the Republican nominee. I think that's unlikely, but I do get a real pull to his health. And so that's where I want to go with this reading today. First of all, let's tune into the energies of the week through this Aboriginal Spirit Oracle and have a look at what's coming up for us. What is the energies? What are the energies of this week? What are the energies of this week? This week, Spirit, thank you. Creativity. Okay, so this is finding creative solutions to things, even if you are in lockdown or your situation's not as you want it to be. There's always a rebirth opportunity when we tune in and we use our creativity. It is immensely healing, particularly for those lower body chakras. When you start to use your creativity, it can actually help you with feelings of insecurity. Why? Because you are activating the energies, revitalizing the energies of those lower chakras, lower body chakras, and particularly the sacral chakra, which is where our creativity resides. If we look at this card too, there's tendrils coming out of, looks like some kind of cup. An egg is a cosmic egg associated with rebirth. But the tendrils are spreading far and wide, and they are really forging new pathways. So creativity is a strong message around the energy of this week. I love this card, stillness. It reminds me also of resilience. That when we are still, when we go within, when we start to utilize the essence of who we are in, for example, our creativity, we do come to that stillness. There is a quietening of the waters. What are the waters? Emotions. And there is a light, a new brilliance that shines through, illuminating even the darkest of waters, like the lighthouse. And that is the key to our resilience in tough times. I'm getting victory, which is interesting. So I'm feeling, even though there may be some viewers that I'm tapping into that may feel like they are anything but victorious, be mindful that victory can come on the turn of a dime. It can come in a split second. It can change. It can be life changing. So victory. And for some, using their creativity will start to manifest that victories in the future rather than loss. Compassion at the base of the pack is a big one. I do feel at this time, even though we're all frustrated, compassion can help balance things out, balance the scale. And in this case, it's compassion for those that are suffering. Um, it can bring forward all of those life affirming energies rather than sitting in energies that that really do nothing for us, that really don't create or manifest anything. So again, the choices are ours as to what we generate and what we bring forward. All right, now on to the Trump reading. I'm particularly interested around what all this Twitter talk is around Trump's health, particularly given I've been warning about this for a long time, that it is worse than what we think it is. It's just been one of my compelling intuitions that just hasn't gone away. So let's have a look overall, and I'll just ask Spirit to show me Trump's health. Show me Trump's health. Show me Trump's health. Yeah, he is having difficulty, as I keep bringing up, with his balance, and particularly this being stooped over. He just doesn't have the strength that he used to. I did actually do another reading this morning where I picked up that if you look at, his strength is failing. If you look at the photos and hear him talk in 2015 and then look at them now, you'll see the deterioration. It is a deterioration. All right. Show me Trump's health, please. Show me Trump's health. Show me Trump's health. Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing that he has been undergoing tests, and I do feel there was some talk about that photo being photoshopped. I don't think so. I think I can see that he has been undergoing health checks. And I am getting a draw to this area as well, although the rumours are that he has had a series of mini strokes. What we've got the Five of Swords jumping out, an abuse of power. I think anyone who lives with such negativity, surrounded day in, day out, over a long period of time, with such negativity, is bound to have a health crisis sooner or later. You just can't do that and get away with it. And subject yourself to the amount of negativity and stress that he has in the last 3 or 4 years, and he's done it to us as well. All right, so it's coming back on him. As soon as I said that, it's coming back on him tenfold. Whatever we feel, it's coming back on him tenfold. Okay. Show me Trump's health, please. Show me Trump's health. Show me Trump's health. Show me Trump's health. Okay. So we've got something coming forward, and it is a harsh truth. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody breaks that story, if there's a whistleblower or something comes up in August around his health. Now that's a signifier card, and it is a fast-moving night as well. Some truth coming forward that maybe people have been trying to hold back, but it's coming forward now. We've got the challenge here is the magician actualizing something into reality. So I do know for sure that Trump has fairly serious health problems. We can see that. But it's also been covered up. And he's had a lot of help to cover it up and prevent that truth from coming out. Let's bring the laptop down. Okay. 3 of Pentacles, working in teams. I do feel with particular expertise, I do feel he's currently under the care of physicians. This is what I saw when I opened up this reading. Teamwork, particularly those that have a skill to bring to the table, literally, I feel. In the past, we've had his shadow foreign policy. We've had We've all had to wait, each of these years that he's been in power, each of these years that we know he's been communicating and generating an agenda with overseas entities, and of course trade and commerce. This is in the past, so that's interesting because it's showing me that those days may not necessarily go forward. He may not be able to do that in the future. Let's see why. We do have Russia. That's interesting. The Empress card, but this is also abundance, and the harvest coming in. That's a potential future Russia, as it's sitting here with the Three of Wands, which is my card for that shadow foreign policy. That's interesting. That has come into this reading on health. The constant effort it takes him to cover up is starting to tell on him. It's a little bit like what Mary Trump says. He is being held accountable for the first time in his life. We have illumination and the Sun card here. This can also be the virus, but I do feel that this is an illumination of some sort. At the moment, we have obstacles and challenges and partisanship. We can't see the truth because we're being told lies, and we're being told lies because of the highly political climate that we live in. They are lying about his health. It's as simple as that. Hopes and fears, the fears that he doesn't have the strength and the endurance to continue. I'll go to the Republicans in a minute. We do have the Hierophant card, which is the final arbiter. This is the final decider. I'm getting a pointer to the Supreme Court decision recently, and also the stress around his financials coming through. But this is in the outcome card. This is in the outcome position. Let's see what's clarifying at the Queen of Cups. Some sort of information coming through. Look, I didn't want to say it when I thought about letting you know that when I started this reading, I saw a proclamation, what would be equated to as a proclamation. And I'm not sure what that means, but we have the Wheel of Fortune, something shifting. So some news is going to shift. Now, let's see what's going on with the Emperor. The Emperor, which is my card for the President, but I've also got the Voter. So November election is very much on his mind. He is chained to what he's created, and he is chained in a way to this, I guess, making money off the presidency, whatever his deal is with Putin. But I actually do have the Democrats, the card for the Democrats, and I do have the lawmakers. There is a decision I feel that they're going to have to make. There is a health issue here, and it could be that the Congress ultimately has to decide. When I say the Congress, I'm talking about the government, Republicans in the Congress, those senators that were complicit in the Ukrainian matter. It's almost like it's handball back to them in a way. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Republicans, the senators, the upper echelons of the Republican Party. Do they still support Trump? Because I'm getting in that reading that they don't, and there's many reasons why they don't. Do the Republicans still support Trump? When I say Republicans, do the Republican senators and donors, do the Republican senators, because I'm getting a pull to Congress, do the Republican senators still support Trump? I'm feeling that there's a growing band that don't. Do the Republican senators still support Trump? No, they're very insecure. They're very insecure about aligning or tying themselves to this president. What are they insecure about? They're insecure about his financial dealings, past and present, and possibly even future. It is a hard sell for them going up that hill. They're going to look like they're going to drop something. Now, Mitch McConnell came out recently and said those senators that are in vulnerable seats, it's okay to distance yourself from this president. We do have this division, this partisanship, but it's in the past. It's in the past. We do have crowning the reading Trump. Trump being in control. Let's see, Trump being victorious. Okay, let's keep going. But we also have in the here and now this Eight of Wands, things coming forward, news headlines coming forward very quickly. We do have something that comes to fruition in time. That's the atmosphere around. This is the constant barrage of headlines. The constant barrage of headlines. Six of Pentacles, the fear around his financials, because it will tie them into being complicit. Got the Chariot, something moving forward extremely quickly, taking control, very, very quick. There is a quickness here, and I do have the Five of Cups clarifying that as loss. Moving away from loss. And we've got potentially a new start here. I want to see, so we've got balance and we've got the World at the base of the pack. Of course, the World is beginnings and endings. I want to do a clarifier, put a clarifier on this Emperor and the victory. What is this doing here, this Emperor, as a potential future? Trump retaining control. Show me, does Trump retain control? Oh, okay, something coming to an inevitable end. His control coming to an inevitable end at voting time. Or we've got the voter in the frame, and we've also got his strength and endurance, which could be actually failing. Yeah, okay. We've got the Eight of Cups. And we do have this woman here, Fire, Sagittarius, Leo, or this is a Sagittarian card. There could be some sort of deal made around this woman, and we do have the Death card ending. So I want to see then, so the Republicans are first and foremost worried about what might come forward regarding Trump's deals with foreign countries such as Russia. I think that's their overriding concern. They're also worried about this president may not necessarily be able to be controlled. And if you look at what's happening, there's a growing dissension between the senators, Republican Senate, and Trump. Almost like they feel he is out of control now. So I'm sensing a real shift between those senators that support him and those senators that don't support him. There's a growing rift between Trump and the Senate, the Republican Senate. So let's just see, will he be? Let's have a look at the RNC. Let's have a look at the Republican convention. Week beginning the 24th. It's going to be a huge week for Trump. It could be a big loss for him in some way. Show me the Republican convention. Republican convention. Week beginning the 24th of August. Show me this Republican convention. Republican convention. I feel there's a lot of rocky. It's not a smooth process. It's not a smooth road for Trump. Show me this Republican convention, please. Okay, giving and receiving help, campaign. There could be questions around his campaign and the way that the campaign money is being used. We do have loss here. There's some kind of loss. Ooh, there's some kind of money that's gone not accounted for. And this came up in my August reading. This could be one of the reasons why they're not wanting the media there. There's questions around expenditure of money. And of course, donors are now saying, don't put our money toward the Trump campaign. Put it instead to holding on to the Senate. Give it to the senators who have the Republican senators whose seats are in doubt. But I see a real question mark around the way campaign monies are being spent. Foundation of the reading is the voter. Show me the Republican convention. What's in the past? Here is our magician. A failure to launch is what I'm feeling. A failure to actualize something into reality. We've got loss. They are fearing, that's come out reverse. They are fearing loss, being left out in the cold, but it's in the reverse position, which means that some of the fear about bucking Trump has gone or is going. They want to move on, relocating, moving on, out of troubled waters. Wow. I'll bring this laptop down. He is not enjoying the same level of support from the Republican Party that he did. I'm not talking about the Trumpsters. I'm talking about the machinations of the Republican Party, and there are serious questions over his campaign finances and how it's being spent. They are presenting with a cool head. This is the investigator, the lawyer. That's interesting. What's the atmosphere around is the spy in the camp. Wow. You want to wear his armor into that convention, I do feel. The fear, of course, or the hope is that he, I think they'd be quite happy not to go into the election with Trump. Some of them, not all of them, obviously. And we've got the Sun card, illumination of the past. So I'm getting a draw. They are extremely worried about what might come out around his loans and debts. They're looking for a more balanced, agenda, more balance in their candidate. We've got something that is waiting, the Two of Wands, playing the waiting game, waiting for victory being very hard to accomplish. And of course, we have the King of Pentacles, and we have splits in their own party, this insecurity and fighting within their own party. So, the way that I see this reading, it's not so much Trump's health that they're worried about, the Republicans. They are already splitting from him because they don't feel that he will be able to win, or they feel they're worried about their own political futures. But the really interesting thing, and they are extremely worried, what's underscoring all of this, if he is found to be a spy, if the investigation reveals that he is some kind of in league with Putin and others, how would it look, him going into the 2020 election and beyond, if this information comes out, even if he was by some miracle re-elected, which I don't see him being re-elected on, there is this information that is going to come out. Sooner or later, it will come out, and they know it. They know it. They absolutely know it. They are getting really cold feet. What I found interesting, going into the convention, they're getting really cold feet. What I found interesting was normally this would come out being lost, being, frightened of being left out in the cold, shut out. But it came out in the reverse, which means there are enough anti-Trump Republicans within the mix to be a real threat to Trump. So what I'm going to do is have a look. I'll turn that the right way up. Have a look. He's weak and vulnerable. Now, as you know, if someone is ill, if they are losing their power, both in a practical sense and in a physical sense, they become more vulnerable. It seems to me Trump is more vulnerable amongst his own party. So let's have a look. Are some Republicans willing to break away from Trump? And this is why they don't want the media there. Are some Republicans willing to break away from Trump? Are some Republicans willing to break away from Trump? Are some Republicans willing to break away from Trump and not endorse him or complain or be very vocal about him at this Republican convention? Are some willing to break away from Trump? Yes. Endings and beginnings, major arcana. There are some. Ace of Swords, because they don't feel he's been, whatever he's doing with his foreign policy, some of those Republicans have real fears, about. They do not approve of what he's doing on the world stage. And so some of these things will be canvassed at that convention. They are at a crossroads. And this is the thing for the Republican Party. If they go with Trump and he continues to bottom out, because he's tanked, but bottom out in the polls, if his health is so precarious that we know that he won't be strong enough for another 4 years, he's slurring his words, they have a decision to make. So whatever's going on underneath the surface that we can't see is quite significant within the Republican Party. The wheel or the tide has turned. The wheel has shifted. That's in the past position. Let's see. They don't want anyone to see. Okay, this is the smoke screen. This is the illusion, casting an aura of something that's not quite reality. They're deliberately wanting to do this. They've also got choices to make as well. This is the heavy choices that are in front of them that this Two of Swords speaks of. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Pentacles, work, skill. They're going to be working on some kind of illusion, some kind of smoke screen. The here and now, we've got the Justice card. Could even be some type of coup against Trump at that Republican. Ooh, okay. Right. Okay, we've got the Justice card and endings. There's a real possibility that there is a breakaway group within the Republicans. This could also point to something that we don't know about in relation to justice being on Trump's tail. And the Death card, of course, can spell the ending of his presidency. Now, that's in the here and now position. So they're aware that at this point, if an election was held, they would sustain great losses, including losses in the Senate. That's what they're worried about, the King of Wands. They're worried about the Senate, losing control of the Senate, but also worried about losing control of the courts. Now, when I say that, if they lose control of the Senate, they do not have the ability to put conservative judges in the courts. We do have the Nine of Pentacles, which is luxury, payoffs as the outcome card, and we have heartbreak with the Three of Swords. Not good cards for Trump. It looks like some donors are going to turn against him. They see him as a fool. They want a new start. They feel it's impossible to win the election, and they want more balance and a new start. There's also news coming out around the Hierophant, courts, government in some way. Here's our Queen of Cups and our Ten of Pentacles. They probably already know what's in Trump's tax returns, and they're probably not prepared, given that justice is very close, knocking on Trump's door. Imagine what the scenario would be for the Republicans after everything that's been said and done to have this president be found out to have money laundered for the Russians, That's what they're worried about. I feel that there is a real push not to have him as their candidate, but I don't think that is going to win. I've always seen Trump going down in flames, so I do feel either he resigns through health and being pushed out, or if he does make it to the election, he is resoundingly defeated. Well, let's ask, is Pence going to be the candidate? That's the logical question, and of course with someone like Nikki Haley in there as well. But let's just concentrate on Pence. Would Pence be the candidate? Will Pence be the candidate after the Republican National Convention? No. Okay, well, let's just pull the cards. I feel some people want him to be the candidate. Will Mike Pence be the candidate after the Republican convention? Well, I don't know how it works. I think Trump would have to resign. He may be, or not stand. We've got no for Pence. I didn't think so. And Trump is being offered something. I feel that there are discussions going on with him, but he's got his back to the wall and he's not going to give something up. Why? Because he is the King of Pentacles, though we have money loss and justice for him. It's a matter of time. It is a matter of time till justice catches up with Trump, and they know it. All right, let's keep going with the reading. Pence. No, I don't think Pence will. Trump would have to resign. He's holding out. They want a new start, but Trump is not going to give it to them. The Magician card, actualizing something into reality. It's getting very murky now. In the past, this is what I saw when I was shuffling the cards. There's been a real movement against Trump, a real movement within the Republican Party. Strength and endurance, we have crowning the reading. I asked, would Pence be the candidate? We've got celebrations here in the immediate future. What's going on here? The Knight of Cups, smoothing things over, being offered something as well. But the Trump is hanging on. He's not going to give up. He's not going to give up the power. They might, with this King of Swords in the hopes and fears, well, obviously they're fearing investigation, but they might have their own ways too. The Republican Party may have their own ways of dealing with Trump. We've got the Page of Swords. Pence isn't loyal. Pence is not loyal to Trump at all. And he's got the larger donors wanting Pence to be the candidate and not Trump, because they feel Trump's going to lose. But I think Trump's going to hang on because, as I said, he's the King of Pentacles, but justice is on his tail, and it is a question of being patient and waiting because justice is coming for Trump. So no, I don't see Pence coming out of the RNC convention, but I just have a feeling they are speaking to him about stepping down. All right, let's have a look. Will we suddenly hear this proclamation thing, that this announcement that Trump's health is, for health reasons, Trump has to stand down? So I'm just going to ask, is he going to resign? Is this what we're going to hear? Is Trump going to resign before November? Is Trump going to resign before November, or is Trump going to resign before November? Is Trump going to resign? Lies and deceit. Challenged by isolation. September. That's also a September card. Foundation of the reading is the Queen of Wands. So this Queen of Wands is a movement. I do feel that this could even be for someone like Nikki Haley to step in. She's been pretty vocal on Twitter of late. This is in the past. Wishes, breakthroughs, miracles. Victory. This is a victory card. Now that's interesting. That's crowning the reading. The victory card also came up in the energies this week. Temperance, December, balance, fire sign, Sagittarius energy, a victory for balance. Now we have illusion and delusion. We do not know the truth. And that's in the here and now. We do not know the truth of the matter. The atmosphere around this is Trump. Trump being, there's a smoke screen. The truth is not being told. Lies are being told about this president's health, mental and physical health. They are reviewing their options. All right, the outcome card, something coming to an inevitable end. The Hierophant, a higher source, speaking, ruling, making a judgment. And we've got the Ten of Swords. There are two possibilities here. He may win to fight another day with the Republicans at the convention. But the other possibility is enough of them, and they are there, enough of them will band together and force him out. We do have the Devil energy at the which is transformation energy, breaking the chains that hold them. We do have the King of Cups moving through, which is Biden, gaining ground. And we've got Trump's financials and us hearing some kind of news, maybe that he needs help. And we've got the Death card. So these cards aren't looking good for Trump within his own party. There is a movement against him. They don't want the media there because there is some issue around campaign finances that will be thrashed out, or that donors may be wanting not to give to Trump and to give to the Senate. They want to retain the Senate so they can keep putting through the judges. They're fearing a loss. They're also Trump's health is right there in the frame, his physical and his mental health. Things are a little bit more dire for Donald Trump within his own party than what we know or what we're seeing. Okay, thank you for tuning in, everyone. I'll be back again with another reading soon. Thank you.